Hello there and Happy New Year. There are a couple of hot topics in the AI world at the moment. AI agents is one of them and long-term memory is the other. Today I'm going to be talking about AI agents and how you can set up a customer service team comprised of AI agents to handle email, chat and voice conversations with your customers using a good AI agent platform. The AI agent team can understand, respond to and provide analytics on emails. We can also have a speech-to-speech conversation with your AI agent. I've done a couple of demonstrations of this before. I'll be covering that briefly today as well. And thirdly, how an AI agent can handle chat sessions. So typically from a website or social media. So text chat, voice and email, which generally covers all of the channels that are needed for a business customer service setup these days. And so these are the minimum team agents that are needed for a customer service operation for a typical business. The fourth one I'm going to add to that is just an analytics agent that's able to look at all of the customer interactions and provide a holistic view of typically what's going on, the good stuff, the bad stuff on a real-time basis across all channels. So what is an AI agent? Well, let's start with that. An AI agent is a software program that uses artificial intelligence to make decisions, perceive its environment, and complete tasks autonomously while interacting with users or other systems using APIs. An AI agent is different from a typical chatbot because it's able to autonomously complete tasks such as sending an email, interacting via an API, going into a database, basically doing useful things autonomously. So now that we've covered AI agents, we're going to move on to an AI agent platform. So you're probably thinking, why do I need an AI agent platform? Well, the reason that you probably need an AI agent platform is that most businesses do have lots of different channels, and quite frankly, some large language models are better suited to certain things. So there's a requirement there for not just multimodal agents. So these are agents that work with email, chat, video and voice, different types of mode, if you like, but also different large language models as well. OpenAI GPT-4, for example, Claude Anthropic, Llama, there are quite a few on the market. And so what a AI agent platform does is it allows you to manage and administrate different AI agents per channel, different channels of AI agents, but also different large language models, all on the same platform, without endlessly skipping from platform to platform, logging in and out, losing track, and quite frankly, making errors, and it just becomes very hard work. And your holistic view of your customer service environment is, really starts to fragment and fall apart. Whereas with a single platform that's multi-LLM, LLM independent, that can handle lots of different AI agents, you've got that holistic view and much, much easier management. One login, all of your customer service, and also the CX analytics. So some of the statistics, and there are lots of them that are generated by the agents, all comes into view in one place. So you can make quick decisions. You can see real time exactly what's going on in your customer service team. So let's now go into a bit more detail on the AI agent management platform and why it's so important. And I'm going to be concentrating on 5 or 6 points. First one being the holistic customer experience. The second one being CX analytics. The third, administrative advantages. Fourth is enhanced accuracy across your agents, cost efficiency, and some of the technical benefits that go along with it as well. So we're going to be covering those 5 or 6 points in the next section. So the first thing we're going to look at is the first 2 items on that list I went through earlier, which is the holistic view and also the analytics, the CX analytics across the channels. And so what we have here is the CXCortex agent management platform, which handles a variety of agents, email, chat, call recordings actually. It's also a voice agent as well, either by SIP or via WebRTC. And this is what we call the triage summary, which is really a summary of all of the interactions across all of those channels, condensed down into one report. And then we're applying CX analytics across all of them. And it's analyzed by a large language model or a series of large language models and then scored per interaction. So you can pick out lots of different metrics against each of these interactions. So whether it's email, chat, voice, web voice, or a web agent. So we've got it set up here for sales triage. So it's looking at the content, in this case within the emails, to sift out junk mail, leads, complaints, that sort of thing. We can also pick out sentiment, so we can report on that. All of this information can be condensed and pushed into things like a BI system like Power BI. We've also got an interesting one here, which is just gearing up for complete autonomy, which is where the agent responds autonomously without any assistance. We're getting it to score on how confident it's going to be to respond to some of these interactions that come through. Okay, so what we've got here, we've already filtered here on email, so we've got several thousand emails, as I'm sure everybody else has. This is probably a good, maybe a realistic view of what everybody's customer service looks like. So mostly emails, some chat, lots of audio, that sort of thing. So if we can look at chat, and we can see some of the conversations that we're having via the website. We've also got a voice agent set up. This is actually a demo. It provides customer service for heating systems, boilers. So we're just running that in test at the moment. But you can see what you're getting there, and also audio as well. So we've got, these are call recordings that come through on the PBX. So all of this information is condensed into this report here. So there's lots and lots of information that all goes into a database, in this case UK database, and that information can be used to trigger alerts through Teams, through Slack, through email, SMS, whatever you want, based on meeting certain thresholds, or let's say, for example, there's a bit of a trend of tech support tickets coming through with a particular theme. You might want to set an alert to say, look, something's going down in customer service, something bad, or if there's a lead, if you're getting lots of leads coming through, you might want to know that. Also fantastic for trends and capacity planning as well. It can be used to look at, as I said, with this column here, you can use it so that the AI agents are self-assessing with a view to perhaps sometime in the future going partially, full autonomy, or maybe in just certain situations like the website. Okay, so that was the interaction triage summary there, and what I'm going to move on to next is we'll go through the individual channels, and then we'll start looking at the how to train the agent, how to upload the data to enable that AI agent to start responding to customer inquiries. So as you can see here, the first channel we've got is email. I won't go into that because there are some actual live emails in there. But when I open that out, you'll see a bit like an inbox, really. So you'll see all the emails there, which you can actually respond to directly from here. CXCortex integrates with Gmail and Outlook. Hostcom is an Azure partner. So we've got a direct connection, a verified partner status connection with Azure. The emails are synchronized with CXCortex. So if you respond or delete an email in your own inbox, it'll synchronize it across through to here, and we automatically pick up. We can retain threads and all of the functionality that you get from a regular email client. So that's already on here. So essentially, we don't store emails on CXCortex either. They're pulled down on demand. So when you need an email, it's pulled down via the Azure and Gmail APIs. Moving into chat, we've got 3 agents working there. So if we just have a quick look at the tech support. So we can see a whole range of things here. This is actually a test agent. So, I'm sure you've seen all of this before. Gives you a nice overview of the conversations that are happening perhaps on your website. If we skip on to phone calls, really this is just a series of call recordings, in our case from our PBX. Okay, so that's where they all are. We can also look at voice agents. So voice agents can be WebRTC based, so you talk to them via a web page, or they can be SIP. In the case of SIP, Hostcom can provide a phone number, so you can ring the voice agent and start talking to it. On the The WebRTC side, I'll demonstrate that to you shortly. So you can talk to the voice agent via a web page using a mobile phone or just on a web page on your desktop, on your laptop. So a bit like the chat, it just basically displays all of the utterances here. So in this case, we've got a demo heating agent, heating assistant, answers questions about boilers, raises tickets, goes to a huge database to help with boiler fault codes. So in this case, look, we've got an error code there of E9. So it's asking a few questions. What's the gas council number? That sort of stuff. Logs a ticket, I think, in the end here, if it can't actually resolve that there and then. So again, working very autonomously. So all of this information goes into the previously seen triage summary. Okay, so let's skip on to analysis, and we'll run through we call them objectives. So we've got as you saw on the triage page, these were the columns. So the sales triage, sentiment, support, and can the AI is the AI able to resolve this particular issue itself? Yes or no with an explanation. So we've got 4 objectives there. There could be 30, 40, 50, 60 of those, but in this case we've kept it simple and got 4 of them. So if we look at the top one there, so really we've got in the sales triage, we've got a prompt, typical voice prompt. I'm sure lots of you are doing this on a daily basis, where you're putting in a simple prompt to ask the language model to do something for you, like summarize a piece of text or something like that. Very, very similar to that. Being careful to be unambiguous, very, very brief, succinct to the point, really. There's quite an art to actually writing a prompt, but, even if you don't know what you're doing, you can just chuck something in there and you'll definitely get results, because generally the large language model really just seems to have an uncanny knack of knowing what it is that you're looking for. So it'll just typically do it anyway, but to improve the accuracy, the prompts do need to be pretty good. And so the prompt goes in, and we're giving it a set of results here. So this is how we want the large language model to respond in this format. So it's going to need to pick one of these with its explanation of what it saw in that interaction. So that's what that's about. So the next section I want to run through is the training section. So there are a few ways to train the AI agent. You can provide documentation, so manuals, product descriptions, PDFs, CSVs, Word documents, things like that can be uploaded into what we call a vector store. So you can have a central knowledge base, which is a vector store that stores all of these documents. You can also do various other things, such as you can actually put in manual question and answer pairs like this one here. Okay, so we've got a title, and we've got a clearly marked question, we've got an answer. We've got about 2,500 of these in situ. So there's a question, there's an answer to it, and basically all of that goes into the vector store along with any documentation, along with any documentation that you've got, all goes into the same vector store, and then when the AI agent needs to generate an answer, it pulls from the vector store. Another really handy feature in the training section is the ability to bulk upload. So what we can do here, which is extremely handy, is you can do an export of your Outlook inbox, for example. Let's say it's a support inbox, and you've got 4,000 or 5,000 emails in there, or even more. If you do an export, we can then take that export directly, make a conversion, and says we can turn them into Q&A pairs. So it strips out all the markup and characters and bits of XML code and things like that aren't needed, and turns it into clean Q&A pairs. We can then upload that straight into the training knowledge base. So you can go straight from an Outlook inbox and essentially upload that straight into CXCortex here into the knowledge store, so that the email AI agent is completely aware of the last sort of 1, 2, 3 years worth of interactions that you've had with your clients there. Worth pointing out as well that there is a redaction process as well, so that we can strip out all PII data out of that information if required. In the context of the UK, CXCortex is completely GDPR compliant as well. So all the servers, the traffic, all the components of CXCortex are restricted to the UK region, so the data doesn't leave, so there aren't any cross-border GDPR issues with that. Okay, next up we're going to look at CXCortex from the user perspective. So we're going to look at getting an email response done using the AI agent, the email AI agent. Then we're going to look at the voice assistant as well. We're going to talk to the voice assistant and show the messages coming through. And after that, we'll look at the chat agent as well. So this is all from the user perspective. Okay, so already previously sent a couple of messages. And so let's go into the inbox. I'm going to blur out most of what's in there and just obviously show the ones that I've sent through. Okay, so the first one I'm going to look at, we've got two here, so let's just pick this one here. So as I said previously, it works a bit like a standard inbox does. So we've got a question there relating to the contact center service, and it's to do with uploading data. We've got 3 agents to select from. I'm going to pick the tech support one, and we just hit generate a reply. Normally takes a few seconds, and this is pulling the answer from the database. And bearing in mind that this is, for an email response, it's basically kept it fairly concise. But there's the answer. There's the answer here. Okay, so you can see we've got the original question. We've generated a reply through the email agent, given us the answer here, which looks to be correct. And we've then got the option of saving that as a Q&A pair, question and answer pair, into the training knowledge base. Okay, so we can also edit this. We can change that, get it to be absolutely ideal. Save that as training data, and then the email AI agent learns as it goes along as you're responding to emails from here. Also worth pointing out, we do have a Chrome browser extension as well, which is here. So the Chrome browser extension allows you to integrate the email AI assistant into any web application. So by installing this, you can essentially do what we've done here. You can take an email that's come through, look at the question, and then provide an automated answer using that browser extension. It essentially inserts it into the active browser session. You then hit send, and it goes through your own email gateway. It just inserts the answer into your CRM application or database app, whatever you're using. So next up, it's voice agents from the user perspective, and we're going to be using the WebRTC voice connection through to it. So this is our test bed, our test page, standard Chrome web browser. Web browsers have WebRTC functionality built into it, which means, in a nutshell, you can have an HD low latency phone call using voice over IP between 2 browsers. Okay, so I'm just going to take you through the components first. So this is the user interface. We've obviously got the voice agent management where you can look at the transcript of the. I think we showed you this previously, so I won't go into too much detail there. So you can look at what was said on these voice calls. There's the voice agent itself. This is just our layout. This can be changed for anybody's website to suit your branding. It can be reduced as well down to a very, very small widget. What this does here is the voice happens here. We've also got the chat transcript. So as you talk to it, you'll see a chat transcript. We've also got a few settings options here, to do with the microphone and whatnot. We've got the settings here. I'm just going to quickly run through that now. So this is where you would put the prompt. As you can see here, most large language models these days will accept fairly big prompts, so you can really go to town there. There just are some things that you need to remember, just in terms of making sure that the crucial information is remembered. That's all down to the prompt engineering, so there's quite an art to it. Just got a load of demo functions set up. So we've got email here, integration with Teams, but we're not showing that today. We can show Slack, we can show a ticket being raised, we can transfer the call through to a SIP or phone number. Got a demo weather function here as well. So there's some basic things. As I said previously in this in this video. These are agents. They're not chatbots as such. They're able to complete tasks. And these days, to complete a task, you need to be able to send Slack messages, read Slack messages, send emails, integrate with databases, raise tickets, things like that. Useful things that you would find in a customer service environment. And lastly, we've got our demo ticketing system here as well. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the agent now, and we'll start the demonstration. Okay, so let's make a start with the voice agent. I'm just going to quickly change. Oh no, the mic's correct.
Great. I'm glad to hear the mic's working. How can I assist you today?
Hi, how are you doing?
Hi there. I'm doing well, thank you. How can I help you today?
Could you tell me a bit about the sort of things you can help me with?
Sure. I can answer questions, log support tickets, provide information about HostCom products, and assist with sales inquiries. What would you like help with?
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Let's start with raising a ticket, because I've got a technical problem with my router. I need to raise a ticket, please.
Sure, I can help with that. Could you please provide me with your email address for the to hit?
Yes, it's sales@gmail.com.
Thank you. I'll log a support ticket for your router issue now. Using the email, the support ticket for your router issue has been logged. Our team will get back to you shortly. Anything else I can assist you with?
Okay, I'm just going to mute the mic there. The agent will still stay there. I'm just going to flip over to the help desk and just see whether that's been raised. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Is our ticketing system. By the time you see that, most of it's going to be blurred out. But there's the ticket at the top there. Received by the HostCom voice agent. Technical problem with router, which is what I said, and that's the correct email address. So it's just logged it as a normal ticket, ready for somebody to respond and pick it up from there. So let's get back to the voice agent session. Okay, so here we are again. Just raised a ticket. We're going to move on now, and we're going to kill two birds with one stone on this next test. I'm going to attempt to ask what the weather's like in London in French. So it was talking to me obviously in English prior to this point. Now got it muted. Just going to resume that, and we'll just show it making an API call just to check the local weather here in the UK in London. I'll do that in French. It will reply to me in French. We'll switch back to English after that. Bonjour, quel temps fait-il à Londres?
Bonjour. Je vais vérifier la météo à Londres pour vous. Il fait actuellement beau à Londres avec une température de 0 degré. Puis-je vous aider avec autre chose?
D'accord, merci. Let's switch back to English if we could.
Of course. Let's switch back to English. How can I assist you further?
I just want to send an alert out if I could. There's an urgent issue on the sales line. Could you send an alert out, please?
Absolutely. I'll send an alert for the sales line issue now. One moment, please. The alert for the sales line issue has been sent. Our team will address it promptly. Is there anything else I can assist you with?
No, just bear with me a second.
Take your time. I'm here when you're ready.
Okay, so yes, it did raise the alert through the Slack channel. But anyway, I think you get the gist with the voice agent here. It's completing lots of different tasks. And the final task I want it to do is just transfer me through to the sales agents, to the sales line as a test. So we'll do that next. Hello again. I just wonder, can you transfer me to a person, please, to the sales line?
Of course. I'll transfer you to the sales department now. Please hold. You're being connected to the sales department now. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you for calling the HostCom Payment IVR service. Please enter the amount you wish to pay in pounds and pence, followed by the hash key. For example.
Okay, so the final part in this trilogy is website chat. This is one of HostCom's web pages. I'm sure you've all seen this before, but there's a standard icon down the bottom there. Just going to click on that to open it. So this can be branded in your website with your logo, whatever you need. But essentially, we've got an AI agent here. uses exactly the same knowledge base as the voice agent we saw and the email agent, all coming from a central knowledge base. Again, that's one of the advantages of the AI agent platform. So we can set up some presets here, preset questions, and let's just find out what it can help us with. Okay, so it's just generally helping with some of the products. So I hope I've managed to convince you that an AI agent platform is extremely important, and by running through some of the features of the service, as you'll see why it is so necessary. All of the AI agents that we're using, generally we go for the best that there is out there, the market leaders, OpenAI, Anthropic, as we mentioned, Meta, Google. There's plenty of choice out there, so the agents themselves are extremely powerful. But as I said at the beginning, the strength of, or one of the hardest things to get right in terms of bringing AI agents into your customer service is just the management of it. If you get it wrong, there's no consistency, and it's it's just a nightmare to keep everything up to date. With an AI agent platform, you can have the central knowledge base that everything feeds off. You can have separate agents because email agents respond in a different way to, say, chat agents, and likewise with voice as well. But they all come from the same knowledge store. And having one knowledge base doesn't necessarily restrict you to one large language model either. You can have a separate knowledge store where all your data goes, which you've got a lot of control over, and then any LLM will be able to feed off that. So complete independence here, LLM independent, channel independent, but one platform to manage, administer and view all of your customer service. So I hope that's been of benefit. I look forward to seeing you soon.